Pickaxe.
Hiya, cast and crew. Quick update regarding this episode. Luis, for this episode, was actually out of the country, so he had to bring his travel setup, so he might not sound as crystal clear as usual, but we wanted to thank him for taking the time out of his busy work schedule to sit down and record in his hotel room with us for this episode as well as the next. Another update for you, we are less than 50 patrons away from hitting our 300 patron goal already. So if you want to see the cast and crew live in person, going through a rigorous stage combat training just to turn around and write some choreography together to then act out a crazy battle scene, all ridiculously hyper edited for your viewing pleasure, head on over to patreon.com/castparty. You can even try out one of our paid tiers for free for 7 days. Get a feel for the behind the scenes info that we drop for every single episode of Cast Party, or take a listen to one of our monthly one-shots we do, all exclusive to our Patreon. Like last month, where we got together with Christian from Nocturne and Seth from Fables of Fendrea Wildacre, along with myself, Nigel, all DM'd by Colin, where we turned D&D into a drinking game. And yes, there's video for the whole thing. It's called Drunkards and Flagons. If you specifically love the Pungeon, you are going to love this series. So head on over, patreon.com/castparty, support your favorite D&D podcast, and allow us to continue bringing you the highest quality D&D content that we possibly can. Thank you so much for listening. Enjoy the episode, casting crew.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Cast Party. My name is Colin McManus, and I will be your director for today. I am joined by Ryan McManus.
Hi, Ryan McManus playing Bjorg Jorgensen, the Jewel of Debauchery.
Anna Brisbane.
Hi, I'm playing Lenore DeVere. Chaos Fairy, excited to push all the buttons.
Nigel Deacon.
Hi, I'm Nigel, playing Jackal Campman, the leper loner striving for companionship and control.
Vince Perino.
Hi, Vince Perino. I'm playing Tevin, the mechanism of discovery, reconstructing memories one piece at a time.
Raquel Skellington.
Hi everyone, I'm Raquel Skellington. I'm playing Poppy, the tender-hearted giant.
And Luis Carrazzo.
Hey everybody, I'm playing Santos, the glaive-wielding Glavinator. I just decided to call him that.
Glavinator!
I love that.
A little spicy today.
Oh yeah.
Last time, you all were in the coach heading towards this object that fell outside Twin Rivers. There's a few hours of travel before nighttime. Mel slept while you all discussed this journey ahead. You spoke of Santos's stress and nerves. Poppy spoke about living at the Wraithwood. Bjorg brought up the note Virgil gave him, including the fact it mentioned the Black Axe. Jack blurted out information he didn't quite recall what it meant, that his family home was taken by the bank while he was applying for colleges. He also mentioned not having memories from before 2 years ago, which Santos expressed was the same for him. During the conversations, Bjorg tinkered with Tevin's arm, giving him a flashlight. This light woke Mel, who told you all to get some sleep. At night, Tevin dreamt of the building and the flag flapping that he had seen before. This time it was in the forest. He saw it pass by as he looked out the window. In the morning, Poppy and Mel spoke of adventure and the resonance before quietly waiting for the others to wake up. Tevin brought up his dream of the flag. Lenore determined the flag was from where she was from, America. The coach finally stopped moving and you all made your exit and headed towards the crash site following Jack. You eventually found a farmhouse in a clearing. Beautiful farmhouse with no apparent defense from the residents. You entered the house after Lenore clumsily entered through the chimney. Santos discovered numerous papers regarding wine production, an emphasis on yeast, and a very specific set of papers that listed who needed to drink a certain amount of wine per day. Jack discovered some paintings with dark horrors added to them, and as you moved to the back of the farmhouse, Poppy discovered some gravestones. From here you split up. Santos and Bjorg headed towards the crop fields and discovered the downed object, a half-egg shape that impacted the fields made of metal. They found lines of crops missing and large drag marks heading towards the barn. Lenore fluttered quickly to the barn, followed by Poppy, Tevin, and Jackal. Lenore saw viney tentacles coming from inside a large vat of wine. Each tentacle led to a different farm animal that these tentacles controlled. 2 cows licked up wine while 3 pigs consumed the remains of chickens. She saw a man's corpse that was flung into the rafters. Now, Lenore, you see as you peek into the barn, one of these cows looks up and over to where you are as its mouth opens and you hear this guttural. It reverberates with a resonant nature. Santos and Bjorg, as you head towards the barn's entrance, you hear the echoes of this resonant moo. The vines control the cow as it begins to move towards you, Lenore, as the other animals too look up. And so the scene is set. The question is, will you all roll initiative?
Let's go, baby!
Yikes.
Cool, first time. I only rolled a 12.
I also got a 12.
I got a 20.
I rolled a 12 with a plus 10.
Holy fuck!
Plus 10. 15.
Dirty 20.
It's a 10.
Santos and Bjorg are about 70 feet-ish from the entrance to the barn, it looks like.
Oof.
And inside, you see that there are 2 of these cows and 3 of these pigs. Before we jump into combat, I want to not only remind our players, but also tell our audience just a couple homebrew rules that we're using this season. These are subject to change depending on if we like them, and we might add more. First off, we're doing the classic bonus action potions rule, so you all can take a potion as a bonus action. You can take it as bonus action and you'll roll for the healing, but if you ever take it as a full action, you will get the max amount of healing from that potion, so that includes outside of combat. We're also going to be using some cleave rules. So any excess damage after an enemy is killed, it will be dealt to another enemy within range. And then finally, improved critical. If you crit with a weapon, you'll deal max damage with that added weapon die instead of rolling 2, just to make it a little bit more impactful. First, in initiative, Tevin.
I'm going to walk 20 feet, like northeast a little bit, right behind Lenore. Tap her shoulder. Is everything okay? Do you need assistance? It seems like you are upset or worried.
Crazy animals!
Are they hungry?
Oh, yeah, and thirsty, apparently.
Oh, I see. Well, what shall we do?
Stop them?
You'll just hear the barrels start to roll their way on out of my forearm and aim it at the closest pig. 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
7 piercing damage? Yeah.
Right from that arm, there's a bit of a loud burst, especially next to you, Lenore, as this gunshot goes off.
Oh!
Makes contact with this pig as it begins to rapidly start turning around now. And you can tell the vines start moving and then these beasts move. Santos, you are up, and Lenore, you're on deck.
As soon as I pick up on that, I start rushing forward. I know that the rest of the party went ahead. Bjorg is with me. The second I hear the gunshot, though, something happens. Bjorg, I grab you.
Oh.
I start pulling you towards the barn, even though we're already running there. Santos turns to look at you. You're not going to leave me this time, right? Don't leave me this time. You got to stay right close to me. Don't. And the way that he's looking at you almost looks as if he's looking past you. I'm going to activate Emboldening Bond. While that's happening, you see a light spark behind Santos's eyes. He blinks once, twice, and on the third blink, it's as if these sparks shoot outside of him. You feel them burning into you. It doesn't hurt, but you feel this beam of light coming out of his eyes into your chest, and in an instant it disappears, and what remains is a thread of energy linking us. I look at you with surprise. I see this thread now connecting us, and it's as if I don't. What the hell just happened? What? They need help. We need to get to them. And without second guessing it, just keeps running forward. We are now bonded.
Okay.
Santos doesn't totally know what this is, so I'm just gonna let you figure it out a little bit, and maybe the two of us will figure out what this ability is as this thing unfolds. But what you know for sure is that there's this sort of thread of what looks like wispy white and golden energy, silvery gold, linking us chest to chest.
Can I make physical contact with it?
You can try. What are you going to do? I'll tell you what happens.
It is a pure curiosity. You grab him and this wispy thread is emerging from himself that he knows he did not do. And he's gonna try to reach up and at least tug it as if he was trying to bring you closer or pull himself towards you.
As soon as your fingers pass through it, it's as if you're trying to grab a hold of light and your fingers just kind of move through it, but it's almost as if the thread dances around your fingers. You can see it almost like loop through your fingers. It responds to your presence. You can't grab it though, it's not tangible.
As his fingers just pass through it. Well, it doesn't hurt, so after you.
Well, as you say that, Santos is just like already booking it forward. That's my action, my movement, that's all. I've moved forward 30 feet, and that's my turn.
Lenore, you are up, and Poppy, you are on deck.
Okay, those are the biggest cows I've ever seen, and I've never seen a cow look at me so hungrily, so I'm just gonna rub my hands together, like creating friction, and then blast from my palms at both of them. Tevin, you would smell a heavy scent of citrus if you do smell, and I'm going to twin cast Reduce on both of the cows.
Okay.
Constitution of 14.
1 pass, 1 fail.
All right, one of them is going to reduce 1 category in size. Haha, much better. For future reference, it has disadvantage on strength checks and strength saving throws, and its weapons also shrink to match its size, so I don't know, I'm hoping it hurts less if it chomps. Targets attacks with reduced weapons deal 1d4 less damage. And I'm gonna fly forward a bit, but also fly up in the air 10 feet from where I am, so technically 15 feet from the floor.
Poppy with Jack on deck.
So here's where I am noobing right now. So I have 40-foot walking speed. So does that mean I can move up to 40 feet, or do I have to move 40 feet?
Up to.
So if I move next to Lenore, which is 35 feet, I can do that. Does that take up my whole action?
Nope, so you have movement every turn, and then you have an action and a bonus action. So movement's totally free.
Okay. Well, I zoom on over, big step in, looks at Lenore in the air. This ain't natural. And out of seemingly nowhere, there is a radiant bolt of light in Poppy's hand. Reels back and strikes with her radiant sunbolt. I'm going to shoot it at the big cow.
So what you're going to do is you're going to roll me a d20 under that radiant sunbolt. It should have to hit, and you're going to add whatever that number is.
I got a 25!
Whoa.
6.
6 damage to the first cow.
How natural is that?
It's the sun, baby.
Connects with it, and you almost see a piece of these tentacles start to burn up with this radiant light, but they're still being held on nice and tight.
I think that's all I'll do. I'm so sorry for everybody have to walk me through all
No,
that.
I
but-
apologize.
Please don't.
There's a lot. Trust
Yeah.
me.
No.
You're fine.
Jack, we are to you, and Bjorg, you're on deck.
Running into this tree. And I would like to bonus action hide, please.
Roll stealth for me.
Oh, come on. My rolls are trash today. It's only a 9. And I will take a shot with my short bow. I saw what happened, immediately had the hunter brain, like I need to get into a position where they won't see me, hopefully, so I can take them out quietly as best I can before they hurt anyone. So I take the aim with the short bow and I fire a nat 20.
Ooh, there you go.
I'm aiming at the middle pig. So I'm going to hit that real quick with the damage and follow it up with the sneak attack. 13 damage from before the sneak attack.
Ooh, buddy.
That's a dead pig.
6 more damage.
Damn.
You killed pig 2 and 3.
Oh, shit. What everyone saw, because it was near silent when it happened, was Santos, Bjorg, and maybe Tevin saw like a dash, heard a little bit of rustling, and then an arrow flies out and just pierces straight through both pigs. The arrow slices through both and just like sticks into the ground behind them, and they just collapse.
As they do so, you see the tentacles trying to move them, and they aren't responding to it. Each of these viney tentacles retreats back into this vat at the back of the barn.
Since I'm not hiding anymore technically, you guys probably just hear a little bit of like readjustment to settling in the leaves, but he doesn't say anything.
We are to Bjorg.
Bjork is going to follow behind Santos. Is it okay if I break away from you quick, or do I need to be stuck to you?
Do whatever you need to do, and I guess we're going to find out together. And he just looks at you kind of confused.
I'm not a fighter. I was going to go hide behind the tree, but you can take this. He rips off one of the jewels from his ring. His fingers are adorned with rings on every single one, different cuts, different gems, and different styles of each. And he takes out one that is a malachite that is a near perfect square. And he rips it off, and he reaches into his suit jacket pocket and pulls out a small little tripod-like device, and he places it right on your shoulder, Santos. And he takes that gem and inserts it into a slot on top. And you can hear the device begin to power on and activate as it begins to crawl with its little tripod legs from one of your shoulders to the other and back and forth. That might keep you safe, who knows? Oopsies is really good at that, so good luck. This is one of my Eldritch cannons. This is Oopsies. Oscillating Oofer pushes some insignificant enemies. See ya. So as my action, I have a small Eldritch Cannon that will be resting on Santos' shoulder and will go wherever he goes. And then I'm going to use the last 10 of my movement to go diagonally southeast towards the tree that Jack is hiding in. I can't quite get to the base of the tree, but at least making my way over there. Corvus has a fly speed of 30. So from here, I would like to just paper airplane him and just throw him 30 feet forward.
That is the pig's turn. Already looks like it is hurting. You can see it moves towards Tevin, the one that shot it. It opens its mouth. There is viscera, blood on these very flat teeth. You can see feathers stuck in its gums from where it was eating these chickens. It just starts biting at your leg. 17.
AC 17.
6. Piercing, or I guess, would this be bludgeoning damage?
No, you still pierce with your human teeth, so.
Newbie question. So there are different damage types like that?
Yes. That'll be more important later, because you can get resistances to certain damage types, and other things might not get hurt by certain damages.
Oh, that's what it meant by radiant damage.
Yes.
Oh, my bolt is radiant damage.
So that's just one quick bite at your ankle. Then we have the cows. The larger cow moves first. It rushes straight up to Poppy, the closest person that it can currently reach. It is trying to skull ram you.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Only a 12?
What is your AC?
16.
This beast tries to hit you. Well, how do you dodge out of the way?
As she's getting headbutt, flips backwards out of the way, like does like a somersault in the air out of the way.
We do have our small cow. Still has enough speed to get to you, but it has disadvantage on its attacks or just strength checks?
Just strength checky things and minus 1d4 to damage.
That's a 21 to hit.
Oh,
As you jump off of this first cow just to get out of the way, you didn't even notice this much smaller one a lot faster. As you land, it has a chance to hit you with its head. So we're going to roll the damage. 10 bludgeoning damage to you, Poppy.
oh, ah.
With that, Poppy, I'm going to need a strength saving throw from you, please.
Oof.
16.
16 is enough. This little cow is trying to hit you and then push you to the ground, but you are able to resist it, move it out the way, and keep your footing. We are back to Tevin at the top with Santos on deck.
Pig is still just like on my ankle, and I'm just gonna try to like shake it off a little bit. This is not a recommended action, little pig. The sides of his forearms, as they're still out, they jut forward and they can join together with the tips pointed out further, making a small short sword. he's going to try to just stab it straight down into its neck as he's trying to shake it off of his ankle. Oh my god, I love these gloves. That's a dirty 20.
I'm glad we found the solution.
Truly.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll me your damage.
It's 5 piercing.
That is enough. It's biting at your ankle. You go at the back of the neck. This beast falls instantaneously, and those vines retract.
With my movement, can I follow those vines? I'm just going to move 20 feet east, closer towards the middle bat.
Santos, you are up. Lenore on deck.
That thread is still linking us. Bjorg, you notice that as I moved about 20 or 25 feet ahead of you, that thread, although getting a little bit thinner, still remained just as bright and fluid. And as you got closer to me and then moved a little bit further down, none of that changed. I'm moving 30 feet forward. So I've seen from where I am, have I been able to see these vines retract into that vat?
Yes.
My attention shoots to those vines that are retracting, but seeing the state that Poppy's in pulls my attention right back to what's happening right in front of me. I'm going to take the dash action. My glaive is out. I am going to action surge.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
What's that?
Poppy, as you probably hear, because I'm not quiet like some of y'all, you definitely hear these like heavy footsteps falling right behind you, rushing, picking up speed. The second that cow hurt you, upon getting that far away, that thread between us, Bjorg, disappears. It just sort of shatters in these sparks of ephemeral golden silvery light, and then it falls to the ground almost like dust. I take out my glaive and I'm going to attack Little Cow. Poppy, you see this giant glaive swoop up right next to you towards this cow.
Whoa!
Is a 15 gonna hit it?
it is gonna hit it.
Oh, wow.
Yes!
11 points of slashing.
That's a big hit. There's a couple of these larger chunks of vines, and you're able to sever off one.
It's still up. Okay. I'm gonna hold my ground right there.
All right, we are to Lenore with Poppy on deck.
I just throw my hand down to throw a icy bolt at it, a chaos bolt. Poppy and Santos would smell the cinnamon, the burst of cinnamon. But that's only a 10 to hit.
10 is unfortunately not gonna do it.
I'm just gonna fly into the barn a little bit, but stay at my current height.
Poppy, we are to you with Jack on deck.
Oh, Poppy's getting pissed. I just reread my gunner thing, so it requires no action. So if I throw my Radiant Sunbolt again, I have no penalty for being less than 5 feet.
Oh,
Very nice.
Good.
So Poppy summons another bolt within her hand, radiant, warm like the sun. Actually, Lenore and Santos are close enough to feel warm with this bolt appearing in my hand again, almost out of spite. Ugh, and perish, and throws the bolt at the small cow.
Oh!
I got a 9.
Oof.
This beast ignores you as Lenore's trying to fly away, and it jumps at Lenore, and it misses Lenore, but because of how it dodged backwards, your bolt goes straight into the ground.
Okay, it's still close to me though, right?
Yep.
She's gonna kick the damn little thing really, really hard several times. Fury of blows.
Flurry of blows, so you just use a key point, and then you get to use 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action.
12. Oh, what is going on?
One more.
A dirty 20.
Nice.
That's what we like.
Nice.
I got a 5.
Every little bit helps.
I thought it would be easier smaller. But I guess Poppy winds up her leg, pulls it back, misses the kick the first time, almost stumbles. Oh, you stupid little... And then tries and connects her blow right in the center of the cow's forehead.
Then we are to Jack with Bjorg on deck.
I wish this was more interesting, but he's still in hunter mode. The rustling stops and I try to hide again.
Go ahead, roll me stealth.
16.
You are hidden. You will have advantage.
firing off the short bow once again. Oh my god. It's a 10, so I don't hit.
You are shooting from this position, but Santos and Corvus is now flying in the way, and Poppy's here, and Lenore's around, and you're not used to worrying about targets in the way that you don't want to hit. Bjorg, we are to you.
Oh, I'm going to run 10 feet east just to get to the base of the tree, taking a bit of safety and a little bit of cover behind something so he doesn't have to enter the fray of this fight. Santos, from your shoulder, you hear this ticking, this tick, 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 tick. If you peer down, the little tripod device is cranking a lever on the side and pulling it back like a slingshot. It's securing itself using your plate armor and slinging itself back. This is my force ballista, so I'm going to make a ranged spell attack on the small cow. Oh, it's only an 11 to hit.
Dang.
Oh my god, guys,
Hey,
come
blink
on.
D&D Beyond. This is ass.
Santos, from your shoulder, there's this puff that happens in your ear as the device releases this burst of air as it launches at the cow but just gets stuck in the farm floor, lost in some hay. But there is an impact when it is released.
As it happens, Santos kind of snaps his head back and when almost reaches behind him, and you hear him call out, "Where'd you go? Where'd you go?"
From the sky, using my action, I would like to channel magic through Corvus, as he's going to dive bomb himself down using Bjorg's Booming Bang, Thunderwave. Can the two cows make Constitution saving throws, please?
Both failed.
He is landing like a missile, and he is just exploding upon impact.
Oh my god.
Parts everywhere. As Corvus just dive bombs into the ground, there's a moment of like calm as he just before he utterly explodes, and it's only 3 thunder damage as shrapnel and parts go everywhere inside this farmhouse, but they are going to be pushed back 10 feet.
The small cow is pushed back much further as its body continues to tumble as you have destroyed all of the vines that hold it. Those set of vines come back to that vat. The large cow is pushed back 10 feet. You can feel it almost like a bull trying to rev up its feet to start running. You are pushing it back and it's trying to hold its ground.
Did you move Bjorg forward?
Yes.
As you do that, you see that thread between us come back, just spark right back to life.
Told you I'd be here. As I notice it protrude from my chest once more.
As this cow is pushed back, it looks over and it sees Tevin heading for this vat, but then there's a spark in front of it as that tether comes back. And you see the cow trains its eyes on you, Santos. 15 to hit?
My AC is 16.
Whoa!
This is the last cow we have, and Tevin, we are to you with Santos on deck.
From where I'm at, say I got close to where that second cow landed. Would I be within reach of the vines coming out going to the big cow?
Yeah.
I'm going to walk over and try to grab some with my left hand. With my arm, try to swipe and slash the vines that are connected to it.
You can either have advantage on your attack or do more damage.
I'm doing good rolls today. I want more damage.
Hey.
Why did you say anything?
He jinxed it.
I rolled a 2!
This beast was just going after Santos, and because of the way it rushed at it, these vines almost spring out of your hands as it pulls it back. You go straight through the air, trying to slice with that sharp part of your arm.
As they're moving about, I'm just going to try to swing my arm right back around with my action surge. I'm taking another attack at it. That is much better. How about a 21? 5.
And I'm going to ask you to add another d6.
2.
This vine is coming apart. Santos, as you're watching this cow start coming towards you, you see in the background Tevin cut through part of these vines, they retract in a way that's so violent you hear the front legs of this cow snap, but it's still standing.
I see this happen. I see Tevin go for that. I've been trying to take advantage of this moment where it looks to me like this cow should have fallen over, but it's still suspended. Even though its back legs are pulled out from underneath it, it's still being held up fine. I'm just going to bring my glaive down right on top of this cow. And there is a kind of smoothness to how I maneuver my glaive. Now that Bjorg and I have reconnected, essentially, there's a different kind of smoothness to it. I'm going to take a Great Weapon Master attack on this.
All right.
Is that like sharpshooter?
It's like sharpshooter. So this is a 15 on the die, plus 5, plus my emboldening bond, do 4, which is a 4 on the die. It is a 19 to hit.
Oh.
Ooh.
A 19 will hit.
21 points of damage. Like butter, the glaive, I raise it with a kind of Poppy you see right next to you. There's nothing necessarily. There's no flow to Santos, really. There's muscle to Santos, but suddenly there's a different kind of ease as he's taking his glaive and cutting through the air with this sort of fluidity. And it just is going to, I'm trying to slice it through, lop off the head of this cow. My glaive goes into the side of its neck for 21 points of damage.
Wow.
You get this massive swing. You see in this moment, this beast has fallen. Your swing continues through, and you see it connect with the vines that were holding this beast as those retract into the vat.
Question. Technically, did I drop this cow?
Yes.
And that was a cleave damage. As a Great Weapon Master, I get an extra attack. If I drop a creature to 0 hit points, then I can make another melee weapon attack as a bonus action. Can I, before those vines retract, strike down on them one more time?
Oh,
Oh.
This is going to be a straight roll, and I should have Great Weapon Mastered it. It is a 19 to hit. Oh, I rolled a 1. You take 4 slashing damage.
The vines retract, and as that last cow is felled, the cap to this vat was only being held open at the moment by these reaching vines. And you see as those last come back in, they fall into place, closing it off from the outside world. That vat comes down, and you can see the sloshing of the liquid as it moves.
I'm going to pivot around, and I'm going to stand, my eyes on that vat. I'm going to stand right in front of you, Poppy. As like a human shield, you can tell without a doubt that I am trying to make sure that my body is in between you and whatever else might be in that vat. That thread disappears, Bjorn, between us. You just hear me saying, "Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go?" I reach out behind. You can feel my hand grab a hold of your forearm. It's trembling as I grab a hold of you with a pretty tight grip.
Lenore.
Santos, you okay?
He's just looking ahead. My hand is still on Poppy. There's something in that. There's something in that. We're not done.
Ooh, I'm gonna fly 30 feet towards the vat. And I'm gonna dash more feet towards the vat.
It's not safe, Lenore. Don't go so far.
Oh, okay. I will fly 10 feet further up.
Poppy.
Feeling Santos, she takes her other hand, pats him on the head. You strike really well for a guy who's so nervous. Everything's fine. Pops up her arm at fast speed to release Santos's grip, takes by the shoulders on either side, and just moves him to the left. And no one's going anywhere. I'm right here. So she's going to take out her boomerang, which I guess is also kind of large off her back. Can I try striking it with my boomerang to see if it moves, to see if the top moves?
Yeah, are you just throwing the boomerang at it?
Yeah, I'm just gonna throw the boomerang really hard to see if the top of the vat moves with my big boomerang.
Instead of rolling me to hit, roll me athletics.
No, I got 8.
You pull back and you release this giant boomerang, and you do come in contact, but it's like when you throw a frisbee and just after you throw it, you're like, ooh, that's not going exactly where I wanted it to. This thing does not move at all. This thing's obviously pretty heavy. This boomerang falls off to the side.
So my boomerang's by the vat.
Are you from Australia?
Jack, do you have anything you want to do?
I saw that the vines had gone away, but I didn't fully see like what had happened in there. So I'm going to hop down from the tree and I will bonus action dash right next to Tevin. So I'm going to hop down out of the tree, probably scare Bjorg a little bit.
Oh my god.
Sorry, boss. And like just dash in there. And it's like that quick on all fours, like rabbit hop where it's like back and forth and like zipping in. And I just kind of like appear right next to Tevin, like, what happened in here? What the hell is this? Are the vats made of metal or glass?
Metal. There's like glass strips so you can see like the liquid level.
Can I knock an arrow and fire at the glass strip?
Roll me to hit.
21.
Bjorg, anything for you?
I am going to use my movement to... Noticing that the further Santos gets, the thinner this thread becomes. And it seems like it rejuvenated him when we were closer. And he assured me that I needed to stay by his side. It breaking twice, I'm going to use my 30 feet of movement to get right up behind him and just softly place my hand on the opposite shoulder that Oopsies is on. What's the plan, Santos? You said there's more. We're not done. Do we prepare? Do we fire? What? I'm not a fighter. I don't know what to do.
Well, you're not a fighter, but you seem pretty smart, and I just point at the vat. Whatever is in there is definitely strong. It can lift that lid without any problem. You notice Santos is starting to relax a little bit more. That thread, again, at this point, we're right next to each other. Not only is it just connecting us, it's actually kind of wrapping around us a little bit. I think the thing inside of it is certainly smarter than we're giving it credit for. It's hiding from us. You see Santos looking at it. What I'm gonna do is I move next to you, Bjorg. You're better at this than I am. You are the calm one. And I would like to boomerang the help action to you. I want to help you.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know if he would be close enough to see inside the vat or if he would just fire. He saw Jack shoot. He's going to reach into his suit jacket pocket and he takes out that revolver and he flicks open the 6-shooter and he takes out a garnet. It's a small little red gem and he places it inside. No other bullets. He flicks the revolver closed and gives it a spin and he's going to shoot a firebolt at the glass where Jack just shot.
Santos's hands on your shoulder as you pull out the gun. You feel him kind of panic at the sight of your firearm. But this sort of thread between us lights up a little bit more as some of that thread wraps itself around your forearm, around your hand, and even around your gun. You have the option to add a D4 to this roll if you want.
Ooh, I would love to.
23?
I go to pull the trigger. The click snaps, but it takes a second before it decides to heat up. You can see the metal of the gun start to heat up and turn this bright red before that string comes around and just traverses down the barrel before it explodes out.
It's a small piece of glass, but you hear it crack and shatter enough. And you see that bolt of fire go into the liquid, but it doesn't go out. And it continues and it illuminates the liquid. And you have this tiny window to see inside. But you see that flame, that light. And inside, you see it connects and spreads through a body of vines. It's this wriggling mass. This flame shoots along, and you see this form. And then there's this sudden movement inside until there's this burst of air that expels the cap upward. Coming out of the vat, it's leaning, it's holding itself on the edge. This massive creature just made of bramble and vine. These grapevines all entwined together. They're impossibly tangled, where one vine blends to another. There's these stakes that used to keep the vine's shape out in the field. Now they keep the shape of this monstrous being. Its form looks almost humanoid, but each limb is thick and there's no neck to be seen. This wide monster has facial features, holes in its form where eyes and a mouth should be. And as the mouth opens, you hear this roar. It's scratchy. It is this sound of wood scraping against each other, but you hear this warbling in and out of that vibration, the resonance. And that is this being's turn.
Santos, you can feel with your hand on my shoulder now. It is Bjork's turn to quiver quite a bit as he looks over his shoulder. You promised me you wouldn't let me fucking die.
Well, I'm not gonna let you die.
My boomerang.
Jesus Christ, he's large.
That's a big boy.
Gargantuan?
He might be gargantuan because he's technically 20 feet.
Oh my
So
god.
at 25 feet up, I'm still within 5 feet.
Wow.
Oh God.
Oh god.
You start to fly further and further away, but one of these vines tries to hit you out of the air, Lenore. It's only a 13?
Just hits.
Oh,
Swatted like a
Ouch.
fly.
Hey.
That's 7 piercing damage.
I have a reaction to that.
Okay, do your reaction.
I force the creature to make a strength saving throw, and there's just gonna be a blast of purple energy.
21.
Yeah, okay, it's fine. It'll take half. Okay, so half of 6, it'll take 3 force damage and be pushed 10 feet away from me as just this blast of purple beams just emanates from my entire body in like reaction to getting hit.
Its whole form is pushed backwards as much as it can in this relatively tight space. It's made connection with you once, you push it away, but as you do so, you see another one of these arms come to try to connect with you.
No!
17 to hit,
Yeah!
9 piercing.
I'm out.
Oh
no.
You're out.
I'm out,
no.
and I'm 25
crap.
feet in the air.
No, you're not, because if both slam attacks hit a creature of medium or smaller, that target is grappled, and this being uses engulf.
Oh, that might be worse.
Great.
These viney tentacles hit Lenore, they wrap around her. The rest of you see, it's almost like the arm consumes her, and she's pushed into the body of this being. On Lenore's turns, she will take damage at the start of her turn if she fails a saving throw. This being is not done either. It is going to use wine spray. It is dripping in all of this wine. It flings one of its tentacles, and a big burst of this acidic looking wine heads towards Tevin.
Can Bjorg attempt to make him attack him? This sounds wonderful.
You're trying to get sprayed with wine?
You said wine. That's
you
it.
said wine. That was a joke. Please go for Tevin.
It will not be hitting Tevin. That's not even close. But Tevin, we're back to the top of the order with you. And then Santos, you are on deck.
I just lose consciousness on the way in.
I will say, you guys see Lenore engulfed in these vines.
Jackal, as you jump up next to me, I'm just going to look down at you as I bring my arm up, and you can see the 2 flaps of metal that made the blade retract back and meet in the middle and stabilize the barrels. It's nice to have you back, little brother. Are you prepared? And he's going to aim it towards the creature, and his eye gets really bright as those pieces of metal, you can hear them retract even tighter against it, and you can hear gears tighten up and whir. I am using a grit point to take a violent shot on this creature. 26,
Oh, yeah.
so 23 altogether.
Wow.
This being has a couple of these massive tentacles. This bullet shatters what would be a shoulder. This vine falls to the ground. Santos, we are to you. Lenore is on deck.
I look at Poppy. Immediately, I flash back to this moment that I remember from the carriage. of Lenore's head on Poppy's lap. An image burned in Santos's mind that gives calm. Your friend's in there, she's in trouble. Are you going to help her? What are we going to do? I'm running forward. I absolutely get halfway into the room. Thread is still connecting me. As I do so, I look up into the sky at the place where Ilos was, and something whispers out from my mouth towards Ilos. All around me, immediately, swirls of silvery golden light start to dance and whirlwind, almost like a tornado, around my body, gathering around my chest, and they burst outside of me. Poppy, some of this energy dancing like a whirlwind right around you and towards where Lenore is. Some of it stays around myself as I cast Bless. You, Lenore, get an extra D4 against your death saves. Poppy, you get a bonus to a lot of things, attacks and saving throws. That's it. That's all I do.
Okay.
Lenore, at the start of your turn, you're going to make a death saving throw.
A 16.
Yay.
That's
That
what we
is
like.
one pass for Lenore. I would have you roll a Constitution saving throw, but because you are unconscious, you will auto-fail that.
No!
That will be one fail. And then, Lenore, I need you to roll me a d8.
2.
Poppy, we are to you.
Poppy runs and literally leaps over Tevin, goes into her pouch, and pulls out a dart in either hand and whips him towards the monster. Oh. Nat 1.
No. Oh, wow.
Colin.
Oh my gosh.
Colin. Colin.
I'm trying to be so cool, and I should stop doing that.
No, we love being cool.
And failing is so cool.
Oh,
Failing
shit,
is
dude.
the coolest.
The dice tell the story, Rocky. Trust me.
Sticks into Lenore's thigh. And Lenore, you take another death saving fail. Poppy, you do still have your bonus action.
As Poppy sees the dart go straight into Lenore's thigh, frankly, someone who's so calm just goes, "Fuck! I'm so sorry! I really hope I can help you." And with this look in her eye, almost shining brightly, she outstretches a hand, says to Lenore, "I need you to stay with us and wake up." And I cast Healing Word for 6. I'm so sorry. I just don't pull it out. Just let me do it. Don't take it out.
Where am I?
You're in the monster.
No!
We are to Jack.
So throughout all of this, Jack has been silent and visibly seething. Like he saw what just happened to Lenore and got so unimaginably pissed off. It's one of those moments where like you see someone that got angry and you go, "Oh, I should go. I shouldn't be here." But that's not where it stops with him. After a second, you see his shirt tear at the back. Everything in his torso starts to like grow, rippling thick muscles. His body literally enlarges. He is just like a hulking beast. And as a bonus action, I'm raging. Sprinting straight at this thing. He shoves off of Tevin, pushes Poppy out of the way, and just swings as hard as he can with his hoopak. And if anyone that is seeing him, Jackal is not present. You don't see any of what you know in him right now. Let's fucking go. Nat 20.
Wow.
Yo!
This is some hardcore, absolute smacking with the hoopak. Base is already doing 9 damage, plus 4, so 13 from that. So I'm going to throw on the sneak attack from that as well. That plus the sneak attack is another 4, so 17.
Yo.
Did you double the sneak attack die? You crit.
Nope. Another 5, so 22.
It is yours.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Buddy, let's
Oh my
go.
So, as I said, you guys wouldn't recognize Jackal in this form. He jumped up onto the beast and started hacking away with the hoopback in one hand and just tearing with the other, absolutely ripping this thing apart, pulling out vines, breaking branches, all with the goal of getting Lenore out of there. But it's also this indiscriminate damage that is just like absolutely tearing this until it is just pieces.
It's so violent. You are grabbing and pulling your way through this beast as these vines continue to go more limp and start falling to the ground. And as you pull them back, it's almost like they become hard and they fracture and break as they are pushed to the ground. This main body of this being just starts to begin to deteriorate and decay at this rapid rate. In real time, you're watching the rot spread across the vines. Some break upon hitting the ground, others you're just tearing directly through to get to Lenore. You're able to free her.
It's like a half second of hesitation after grabbing her of like, this is what I'm here for, and then just throws her behind him.
Whoa.
And just keeps tearing at this monster.
I dive bomb and catch.
You're able to grab her as you lay her down on your lap, as you skid towards her, as you see just 5-10 feet from you, Jackal ripping through this beast.
Oh, gotcha.
Once I see that it's not fighting back anymore, I turn towards Poppy. It's just pure rage. I'm not attacking you right now, but you can tell that there's violence behind his eyes right now.
Easy there, little guy.
It doesn't look so little anymore.
Jack! Jack!
There's, again, a moment of, like, hesitation. It's an unarmed strike coming at Poppy from low. I only rolled a 10, so it misses.
Hey!
Whoa!
Easy! Poppy gets up, has Lenore in her hands, dodges pretty quick, and goes behind Jackal in like a swift motion. Hey, take it easy. I don't want to have to do this. Pulls her hand up, ready to karate chop, basically, the back of his neck.
Seeing the commotion, Bjorg just gotten straight in the air and is casting Thaumaturgy.
What's that?
It is a spell that's almost sensory.
Okay.
So he's going to pull the trigger, only he knows that there's no bullet in there. But you all hear the sound, and it is loud. It is like a thunderclap releases from this gun, just to try to shake the two of you a little bit, and hopefully reset the situation. Things are done. I don't care how much shit I'm alerting to. It is the only thing that Bjork can think to do to stop whatever is happening.
I mean, Jackal's got big ears. That thunderclap from not that far away in a closed building is enough to make him, like, jerk his head and just, like, smack the side of that hard enough where he kind of recoils and stumbles off. And it's very cinematic. It's like the Hulk when he gets, like, is trying to come down from being the Hulk, trying to go back to Bruce Banner. He just collapses.
I scoop him up in my other arm. Poppy walks over back to Santos.
You see Santos frozen. After that thunderous gunshot, he's frozen still.
Santos? Hey, buddy.
I turn and walk towards Bureau. I get right up in your face to face. We're close, almost like forehead to forehead, and I just look at you. The bond is still up. Those threads are still kind of like, the closer we are when we're this close to each other, they're just like kind of dancing around us. Don't ever do that again.
Yep, apologies.
Putting like a hand on your shoulder, I think it's easy to read your response. I give you a squeeze and I go right back to Poppy. Are they okay? All right, is Jackal passed out?
Yeah, this one's out. Well, and this one, looking at Lenore.
Hey, I mean, I could stand. You don't have to hold me.
Oh, yeah? Are you sure?
I was just trying to wiggle out.
I place you down.
I kind of wobble on my shoes. Just stand.
Are you sure?
I'm good. I'm up.
Lenore, you almost died.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wait, Lenore, stop moving. Stop moving. Don't look down. I missed.
What?
I gotta pull out the dart.
What do you mean?
I was trying to help get you out of the vines, and here, just look at me real quick, and boom, she just takes out the dart. And then Poppy presses a thumb and takes out some fabric from her cobbler's tools and just like swank right around the wound really fast. This is super swift action. Sorry, yeah.
I'm gonna try to flutter my crumpled wings so I don't have to put pressure on the leg anymore.
You want to ride on my shoulder? It's my way I can say sorry.
Okay.
All right. How's Tevin? Poppy's looking dead at Tevin.
You could just hear Tevin's arm kind of going back to its neutral position, the barrel's going back inside and it closing up. He's just going to hold out both arms. If you would like, I could aid you. Holding his arms out towards Jackal.
I put Jackal in Tevin's hands and goes, well, take care of him, I guess.
What do you mean by that?
He's going to put him on his shoulder in a comfortable position, almost like wrapping him around his neck, like he's a scarf, basically. Put his arms back down to his side and stand in his regular position. Tiny brother needs to rest.
Is he okay?
Seems for now he is.
I think the adrenaline got to him a little bit. Rest is good.
Tell me about it. He almost got me.
I'm a little confused about what that was. He was the one who was supposed to be keeping us safe out here, and then turning on us immediately at the first sign of danger is not a good sign.
I don't think it was like that.
Is this something we might want to converse with him about when he wakes up?
I think so.
Yeah.
Good idea, Tevin.
Bound him, Tevin.
Why would we do that? Do we not trust him?
What if he hits you?
We don't need to bound him. What is he going to do now?
Hit more people?
He's out cold.
If he wakes up, what's he gonna do? If he goes crazy again?
As people are starting to raise their voices with each other, just Santos gets quieter.
Jackal has also shrunk back down to normal size now. He's back down to his 4.5 feet tall stature.
You know what? I think I exit the bar. Turn around and I walk away. I don't know what this is going to become. I don't know. I'll say to you, Bjorg, as I leave, I'm not interested in tying anybody up, and I'm not interested in having an argument over what just happened. I need peace. And I walk out. That thread between us is getting thinner and thinner and thinner until it finally disappears, because it's still active.
Bjork, for a moment, hearing that over his shoulder as you walk by, turns to follow you, but hesitates for a second, and realizes that the person who might have triggered a sense of fight or flight in Santos just a moment ago probably shouldn't be the one confronting him when he is the one who needs a moment to himself. He goes to turn and have a private conversation, but halts himself and decides to stay in the barn and is rethinking his actions for the past couple minutes.
Poppy, seeing basically that interaction, looks over at Lenore and is like, hey, I'm going to have to give you to our buddy over here, our Iron Giant. Poppy follows out Santos, looks at him. Hey, you okay?
I'm sitting down by the tree, leaning back against the tree. I think I probably just got there just in time to sit and close my eyes for a moment. Instead of responding, I just extend a hand.
Poppy's face is really soft. There's compassion in her eyes. She takes Santos' hand and kind of kneels on both knees next to him, speaks with a care in her voice. Listen, I know what it's like to see things and be part of things that change you and hurt you and consume you. I may not look it, as I don't bear many scars, but I promise you're not the only one dealing with those emotions. It doesn't have to consume you, though. Maybe I can help you learn how to manage this overwhelming feeling.
I think the problem is that I don't understand, and I'm like, my hands are shaking a little bit. It's just new, and I don't know what it is. I just want to feel peace. And I don't have that right now. I don't know where he is. Why isn't he here?
Poppy takes his hand and puts it to the ground and just pats it. You need to feel the ground beneath you. You need to feel the tree on your back. Whoever you're looking for isn't here right now, but you are, and everything's okay. You're okay. You don't know what I'm talking about because it takes time to understand what I'm talking about. But I promise the more that you think about it, and the more that you sit with it, and the more that you feel it, each time it will become easier when you feel this overwhelming feeling of missing or new or fear. But it's something that takes time. She pats his hand.
I have my hand on the ground. Fingers are kind of digging into the earth. Just close my eyes. I don't know who I'm looking for. I don't know why I have this feeling that someone's gone. Can you just keep talking? And I lay down on the ground and close my eyes.
At this point, Poppy goes off and starts to tell a little fairy tale, one that she barely remembers, about a man that wielded a hammer and had to beat a construct through a mountain. His name was John Henry.
As we flash to inside the barn, Poppy and Santos, please both take inspiration.
Wait, what?
There's a little box on your character sheet that says inspiration. You click that.
Oh, I have a little son!
At any time you would like to use that inspiration, you can grant advantage on that roll. We are back to the barn.
I look down at the ground, hearing this little mechanical skittering, and I reach down and I pick up Oopsies, who crawled off of Santos's shoulder. Pluck the little gem from him, and I place it back in my ring, and I take the little tripod critter device. I stuff it back in my suit jacket pocket, as well as my gun. I feel like that shouldn't be out, especially now. As I look up at Tevin and Lenore. Feeling better, Lenore?
Better than when I was unconscious.
You were inside that thing.
Ooh, don't remind me.
Have you ever died before? Well, almost died.
I think so.
That's terrifying.
That was a lot quicker, though.
I don't want to die.
When Bjorg says the words, "I don't want to die," Jack jolts, and it's like an immediate jump up kind of motion. Like if he was laying on his stomach, he would push up, but he just slips off of Tevin's shoulder and like hits his chin. Oh!
Whoa!
Oh!
Hey.
Welcome back.
Where am I? Why am I so high up?
I think he is awoken. I'll grab him by the scruff of his neck and just put him down on the ground.
You're here with us, your friends? And you saved me.
Okay. That's good, but I don't remember it, so I know that's bad.
Well, I didn't really have a clear view, but You changed.
Yeah,
You never spoke of this before. Is this something new to you?
no. Look, I'm sorry, first and foremost.
For saving me?
Well, I'm sorry for probably what happened after that. I'm glad you're okay, but is everyone alive?
Yeah, we're all okay.
And the other two went outside for some fresh air.
And this is better than last time. Hang on. Jack will, look over to where the vat is and where the remnants of the monster is and survey, what he presumably did.
The main body, it was made wholly of vines and dirt. You see one thing that is out of place. You see a mechanical contraption being held now loosely by some smaller vines where its heart would be. Contraption looks to be fried mostly. It's a bunch of mechanisms all put together. Pistons, gears, wires, some magically infused components. It's mostly broken. Some portions of this mechanism are snapped in half. Others just cracked and working. As a whole, it looks like a complex piece of technology.
Is the mechanism small enough for me to pick up?
It's relatively heavy. It would be easier with two people, but you can definitely move it.
Jacko's got that sleeper build. He grabs it and he hoists it as best he can up onto his shoulder and looks at the rest of the people that are there. Mission accomplished.
Well, at least we know where the thing went. Santos and I checked out the crop field when you all came over here, and it seemed that whatever that device is upon your shoulder fell in a pod out in the field. It killed the crops around, and then I assume something dragged it in here, but for why or how, I do not know. But like you said, that is what we came for, right? Something that fell from the fucking sky.
We did it!
Well done.
And no one died.
Yet. We still have to get back, Lenore.
We're just gonna ride in the carriage.
They needed some time outside real quick, but I think it's enough time has passed and we have what we need, and I don't want to be in this barn anymore. So let's get a move on.
I'm gonna do a quick fly around the barn to see if there's anything else interesting.
Lenore's nosy. How nosy is Lenore being?
So nosy.
You're flying about, you see typical farm stuff. You see these weird jars of these frothy liquid. You see all of these racks of wine, but you're flying about and you remember this man who was thrown into the rafters. As you're looking at him, you recognize that this is the man from the painting inside. Dead maybe a day, maybe two. You find a few different things on his person. He's wearing a very crudely made necklace made of topaz.
Ooh, I put it on.
You find a whistle that has been carved from bone.
Ooh, I blow it.
You blow it? It sounds like a screech of a hawk.
I look at everyone else.
What are you doing?
I'm finding stuff. Souvenirs.
What? You're just rifling through the pockets of dead pigs? Where did you find that?
It's a man.
Okay, to be determined.
Pigs don't have pockets. I keep looking.
And you find a compass, but it's not pointing north. As well as you find a note tucked into this man's breast pocket.
I will fly up to everyone else and just start reading as I'm flying. The drink kept us safe, but changed them. I didn't kill them, it did. I killed what they became. Twins, grant me forgiveness.
I think upon hearing the hawk whistle, I would have snapped a little bit out of that moment that we were in, and I would have stood up and said to you, I guess we should see what the rest of them are up to.
You can't ever turn it off, can you? Poppy slowly gets up.
The amount of time that passed is enough for the following to happen as we start walking back towards the barn. Bjorg, you will suddenly start to see that thread reappear. That light bursting from your chest, but still on occasion kind of dancing around you a little bit. just in time for that to reappear and then dissipate. And as it dissipates, you could probably feel Santos, his burning gaze just kind of staring right at you as that goes away.
It was almost a sense of relief seeing it come back as he turned to yell at Lenore for getting into whatever she's getting into. But seeing that tendril begin to form and trail off over my shoulder, and he knows that now when it gets more dense, that's when you are getting closer. This is experienced 3 times now with him breaking the chain and re-entering. So he knows you're coming up behind him, and a look down gives a slight sense of security as he's the one that is supposed to be making sure he doesn't die. Only for it to then shatter as the little light begins to glisten and fall to the ground. His head remains low, and the slight smirk that was on his face fades as his gaze continues to meet the ground.
And I finish reading the paper.
Jackal hasn't stopped walking.
Hey, wait, where you going?
He's just been continuing back towards like where we came from.
Oh my god!
Jackal, I think Tevin's just going to be kind of to your side, almost behind you, trying to aid, like holding this thing up on your shoulder too. Just like a little bit here, a little bit there. Like,
As you pass by me, I walk next to you and I just put like a hand on your head just to stop you in your tracks. I think you owe me an apology.
I'm sorry. Please take your hand off my head.
You could say it like you meant it.
I'm sorry.
She smirks, takes her hand off. You're lucky I was able to dodge. And next time, don't.
I'm glad you were able to dodge. I consider you lucky too. And he keeps walking back the way that we came, like towards the house, with the intent of heading back towards the cart. And I'm not going to enter the woods until everyone is back around me. I'll just like walk to the woods and set it down if people are lagging behind. But I'm not looking at anyone. He's avoiding everyone's gaze.
I'll do a slight jog to Lenore and Tevin. That note said something about the twins, did it not?
Yeah. Twins grant me forgiveness.
They tend to do that quite a bit.
Huh?
The twins. The twins. I never really considered myself a holy man. I don't know if people even pray to these gods, but that is the one that I found suits my lifestyle, I guess you could say.
There's twin gods?
Yes.
Oh.
They go by a few names. Depends on what you prefer to call them. Just like any god, people will ask for forgiveness, and the twins usually stand for togetherness. A sense of family, whether that's blood or found family. Depends what you consider family, I guess. It's always something that I've longed for.
Oh.
I guess I didn't know that the gods made it out this far.
If they're gods are pretty far-reaching.
I suppose, but...
Well, if they're real...
Well, I guess I didn't know they were real until yesterday. They were just objects in the sky that everyone in Twin Rivers looked upon and prayed to and asked for forgiveness and begged for anything, and...
Even if they're just satellites are pretty far-reaching.
I just assumed they were stories being told within the walls. I didn't know they actually made it out this far. That's all. I wonder who this was, then. If the other was Ilos, who was that?
Don't ask me, I don't know what the heck's going on.
Right.
You see ahead of you all, Jackal reaches the tree line. It's the first time he looks back to make sure you're all following. As Jack turns and continues through the forest, heading back towards the coach. Triumphant in some ways, but maybe dejected in others. And for today, that's a wrap. Not the tension already.
that was a lot.
What a day.
Not the inter-party tension. Almost death, we have tension, we had crits, we had nat ones. This episode had it all. And that means we have so much to talk about over on Behind the Scenes, patreon.com/castparty. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Well, goodbye.
Bye.
When I was out, I had the wildest dream and a terrible headache. A new guy was riding a giant ladybug trying to joust with Anne, who was on a big purple dragonfly. They kept crashing into everything and nearly hit dragons. Didn't bother them much, though. They were busy arguing with a talking mushroom about which one of them was taller. I couldn't hear what they were saying, though. Dubwood was trying to teach a frog how to tap dance. Badly, and it was so loud! Not really sure where I was, but I had to get away from that racket. Wandered into a carnival or something. Sainty Love was juggling fireflies, but they kept flying away. Ep.5 was running around with a net and trying to catch 'em. Forerunner was practicing a high dive into a cup of water, but kinda cheating if you turn into a fish on the way down, if you ask me. Heather was cheering on the snails at the racetrack. Apparently the race started this morning and they weren't even halfway there. Who watches that? Anyway, Isawick had captured 3 raccoons that looked so cute, but he couldn't get the tuxedo on the 3rd one. I wanted to see that show, but Jesky Fire was setting up for a flying squirrel act and ran out of acorns. Those squirrels were angry and loud, and my headache was pounding, so I just kept moving. Found this campground next where a bunch of people were playing games I'd never seen before. Jonas was having people do the worm lasso, just a shoestring, and you threw it onto some dancing worms. I feel like he'd be better at the carnival. Kaylee was blowing bubbles from a trunk, and you'd have to catch as many as you could before any of them popped. That was fun to watch until Lady Lorax joined in. She was a slime, so the bubbles just wouldn't pop when she touched them. Not fair. Lexi was starting dance charades. You'd have to dance as if you were a type of animal and then have other people guess. I was all ready to go in there and be the best hippopotamus I could be, but Opti and the band started. Those drums were so loud, and my headache came back, so I moved on. Anyway, I found a tavern in the woods, and that place was wild. Bassdrop was the bartender and was mixing cocktails in teacups. It was nice having a drink my size for once. Bubba was chatting with Twisted Abyss in a corner booth. Bubba must have had too much to drink because Twisted just kept changing their form every time he looked away. Ebab Flo was watching the pranks and couldn't stop laughing. And I mean couldn't stop laughing. Like something must have gone wrong. 10 minutes of laughing later, Slimy said they could fix it with a magic spell. One big poof of light later, and no more laughing. And I had no more headache. And then I woke up. What'd I miss?